seeing this right now and seeing what we go through, it gives everybody a better perspective of the journey, and it makes their journey easier the more transparent we are. So thank you for coming in and sitting and listening. What was chemo like for you?
What was chemo like?
What was chemo like for you?
So I don't want to say I lucked out, but I feel like I'm one of the luckier ones where my side effects weren't as extreme. I didn't, like so many of us, I went in not knowing what to expect. I was terrified. I was crying when they first hooked me up, but I started to get nauseous about 2 days later, and I followed my doctor's instructions. They said, if you start to get nauseous, take the anti-nausea medication. You need to stay up on it. Well, I took one and it kind of wore off. I didn't feel that bad. I was able to eat. I found that if I kept something small in my stomach at all times, that really helped. So applesauce was my go-to.
Like, I might appear to be, oh my goodness, like she overcame this, but in those moments, it was so awful. Like, it was bad. Crying. Like, I mean, I don't think I had any more tears to cry. Like, it was just, I was emotionally spent.
What is it like now, though? Because, see, with me, even though I've dealt with it then, right, and went through all the motions with everything, some days, I think the after effects of the journey, I still find myself, and I'm going to be honest, and I'm going to be honest because I know some people are on here watching right now that have been trying to get in contact with me, but I isolate sometimes because it's like, this is overwhelming. So do you ever feel like the overwhelmingness of it? Do you ever feel the anxiety behind it or the depression at any time? Or have you gotten through that phase?
So I've gotten through that, thankfully. Also, Crystal, like, I want to say, like, I know that it's common to have those feelings, but you also got to remember, too, that, like, the drugs that we're on will bring up all kinds of, once you start messing with your hormones, and we're really messing with our hormones in a major way, that can cause so many, like, when I first started taking these meds, I remember having
anxious, and I got it again, and everything got taken from me, except for my kids, my 4 kids, everything. And then I started to really look at people different. I started to look at life different. I started to look at situations different. And within that, everybody who I know who's overly nice
me back and said they needed me to go for a second look, which is common, right? When you have an MRI of the breast, it's common for them to say, hey, we need a second look. So I would go for a second look, and I saw on my report that it had said that it was probably malignant. And I knew at that point, they're not going to put that in there. And the BI-RADS were high, so that's how it was found. It was only seen in the MRI. They couldn't see it in an ultrasound. They couldn't see it in the mammogram. Even knowing exactly where it was, my oncologist couldn't feel it. My breast surgeon couldn't feel it. Nobody could feel it. So thank God for the MRI.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's one of those things that we talk about a lot here. It's important to know your family history. And I'm glad that you knew that your mom went through that journey because it allowed you the opportunity to at least stay on top of your own memories.
Period. Like, it ain't no nothing. It's period. I got cancer. Like, it's in my body. It's thriving. It's growing. It's moving. What we finna do? You know what I'm saying? I went to get my pork plates and I told my breast surgeon, why you in there, cut this titty off. And I was dead serious. And
Dead serious.
I was like dead serious. And she was like, that's not how it works. I said, no, you put me to sleep. When I wake up, it's gone. If it's something that's not good for my body, you take it away. It was a joking thing because at that time I was trying to still cope with it. And my sense of humor allows me to get through certain things a little bit easier. So I told her, I was like, Doc, when you go in there, you know what I'm saying, just go ahead and cut her off. She was like, you silly. No, that's not gonna happen. You're gonna wake up, you're gonna do chemo, we're gonna do this process. And she explained to me why, and the whole time I was sitting there rolling my eyes and said, because you can cut it off. But the reality was the tumors had grown, and it wasn't safe for her to do that. In order for her to get the majority, she couldn't do that.
My sister, I remember one time I was just about done taking chemo, and I was telling her I can't take it, and she slapped me in my face, said, you have to eat. I'm like, I can't eat, but the bottom line, to short it up, that was 2018, so here it is 2024, and I'm giving God all the praise and all the glory. It wasn't easy, but I thank God that I'm here, and I pray that what has happened to me is to encourage those to come forward and to talk about it and to help other women as well. And again, Sister Crystal, I really appreciate this, and I pray you keep it going because we definitely need this.
Okay. But it's us that just be worried. And God is like, I ain't give you a spirit of fear. I ain't tell you to worry about nothing. I said cast all your cares onto me.
That's the one thing about cancer. You got no control over nothing. That all you can do is have faith. No God,
by faith and not by sight.
Yes, and continue just to stand on it.
That's real.
It's when I say completely out of your control. Oh, honey. You know how you can control a couple of things. You like, oh, wait a minute, Claire.
You know how people be like, nobody told me adulthood was gonna be like this.
Man,
do not recommend. Zero stars.
Come on.
Just imagine young adulthood, and then you go through breast cancer or cancer.
Girl.
You think that's ghetto? That it's a lot. It is a lot. And to have little kids, and I sit back. My therapist be crying. I be like, dang. Everybody see. She be like, I don't understand. Every time something happen and I tell her about it, she be like, I understand, but I don't understand. She just be.
Nope. It was when she called me in January and was like, gee, I just got on the phone with the doctor and they like that I got breast cancer. Like, okay. Let me get off this call for work so we can talk about this, because stuff like that. So that's
you just dropped the ball in my lap.
Yeah, but that's how she wasn't finna beat around the bush, and I ain't really want it, so I was okay with it for her to drop it to me like that. Yeah.
So after that, the treatment, she did the 6 rounds of chemo.
She did. Well, she went through a few things. It was a few things she had to do because being her age, when you're 30. You still thinking like, I'm gonna have kids, I still want to do things. So there was a couple of other steps that she had to do as far as that was concerned, with like freezing her eggs and things like that. But yeah, she went through the 6 rounds of chemo. After that was done, it's like her eyebrows came back. You would have never known she had ever went through any of that at all, because like you met her at Woman Evolved, so that's she trying to get to that. Like, she was just living her life like it was nothing to it. It's I'm getting over the common cold and I'm getting back to what I'm doing. Just that simple. Yep.
So how long was it when she reoccurred?
I want to say it was possibly 1.5 to 2 years. I'm going to be honest, you don't really know with Halima because she wasn't going to deal with that negativity. She trying to get to Jamaica. She doing this. So she
was going to be numb too, because I don't remember my first year. I think I walk through that day or what you call it. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna be numb. Oh no. And she was telling me, she said, it's okay. You're gonna grieve, like you said, you're gonna grieve whenever you can, and you're gonna go through cycles. And it just hit me like a time I was in that car, had snot, that big cry.